Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the TNP show. I am Coverdales. We're not gonna waste any time. We got uh our queue is not gonna be that long today. We only have 3 matches, of course. Because of that, you guys can do double sets if you want, or all stuff like that. It's up to you. Or if you guys just want to stick with 3 sets, that's fine as well, which is what's in the queue at the moment. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say at the moment. We do have Math joining on comms. I'm getting that set up at the moment. Yo, Austin, how you doing? Hello, Math. Hello, Siler. Hello, Hazador. Hello, Lobus. Marts, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Potato, welcome. Glad everyone can make it. I'm glad the usual crew is here. The queue looks good. I'm gonna refresh the players, Marts, and so Hazador. Came home not too long ago from a pumpkin patch. I got myself a pumpkin. Then afterwards, I went out to eat with fam. It was a nice day. Although I did expect to go to this farm to pick apples, and I came back with a pumpkin. So not what I expected. However, I think that's a great metaphor for life, where you expect to do one thing and you come back with something else. I think that's a perfect metaphor. And Mansion, if Mansion's here, let him know that I still owe him a pun. I haven't gotten to that yet. Yeah, no potatoes were harvested. It's not. It was pumpkins, apples, which we weren't able to get apples because there's none left. It's not apple season anymore. And some type of pumpkin squash hybrid. I forget what it's called. But nonetheless, it was a nice day. We also went to this fancy store too. Some type of high scale food store, and they had all these fruits and vegetables I never heard of before. Oh, and yeah, let's get Math on the comms here. Hello, hello.
Oh, wow, so nice to join you here.
Same, yeah. I'm excited. We got a small queue, as I was saying before, but
Yeah, I guess we could always see if we get some interesting people or people interested in the course of the show here. But if not, I mean, hey, there'll be 2 opportunities for Tetris this week. See, got the double show running here. I was a bit surprised when I saw that. It's been only the second time you've done that.
Yes. At the time I was like, you know what? I missed a week. I gotta catch up. Then I'm like, I remember the last time I did it, I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea, but I'm doing it anyway. It's too late. but but uh but it's for the views, it's for the viewers, it's for you guys. Like at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. It's always nice to have the Tetris opportunities. Hello to Lovisman, by the way. I see you there in chat. But
Yes, we do have a very interesting wild card match tomorrow between Dan V and Lovis. That's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a Masters player versus someone who is has a bum hand at the moment. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out. It's going to be entertaining nonetheless.
yeah, it's really putting a double spin there on the type of handicap match, I suppose.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Well, let's get.
Absolutely. This should be a fun opening match here, though, between Martz and Sahasadar.
Why isn't? Oh, I see what I did. Instead of a 0, put a. There we go. Okay. So I'm almost done compiling the TNP show results, and I should get out by, not too long after the stream ends. What do you think you are going to learn from from the data sheet?
From the data sheet, just to make sure I understand it. Basically, you've compiled all of the matches from all the different episodes of the TNP show. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, okay, there's a few different things I'd be curious about. One, which would be the variety in result types, which I don't know the standard frequency for, say, 3-0 results versus 3-1 or 3-2 results, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot more close results here. I think part of that is just maybe a little bit of bias here, but the allure of the TMP show that just seems to draw in the most high-level, exciting play possible. But I think it's also just the nature of how the show is structured as well, in that people who end up wanting to face each other and do face each other on this show tend to be of pretty similar caliber as well. Even when on paper it seems like one player, you might have a bronze player playing a silver player, or silver playing a gold, or gold playing graduate. Finally, you really have a lot of moments where these players just step up and show their best sides of their Tetris play. And so I'd be curious to see the variety in results there.
So you have played on the show most of the time. Probably like a good 75% of the show you have participated in. What do you hope to see in the data for yourself? Or is there something you're looking for specifically, or what do you think?
From the own personal perspective here, I think it would be cool, and not even just for me, but for other people who have played on the show for a long time, like Seven Page Wilson. So you've had plenty of your matches yourself which have been played on here, but I think it's interesting to see the journey and just how these players have progressed and how certain matchups or various opponents have evolved. Like I can remember early on the TMP show playing Martz when I was still a silver player, and managing to, I think I went 5 games with Martz, I want to say, and that at the time seemed unfathomable to me.
before I respond to that, we should get these players started. Marts versus Zohazador. Yeah, both of them are ready. Let's make sure the seats are correct here. 443 Bravo Bravo 5 Charlie 43 Bravo 5 Charlie. Yeah, these players are veterans. They know. Get these seats in. Let's count down and get started for game number 1.
Absolutely.
3, 2, 1. Tetris. And they're off. Similar openers. Looks like. Yeah, first blood goes to Zohazador. Brings up to 2200, 800 flat. March taking the first burn. And these players are cruising. Last time these players have played, they had very high transitions. It was like, the transitions were like 500k plus for both of them. I believe Zohazador even was very close to max out, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. These are really, I think, the definition of the type of upper tier players that even some high potential tappers or rollers would be afraid of, because it's hard to ever expect a bad game out of either of these players. They really know just how to take games the distance, how to really just hold on to that concentration, that endurance. I think that's really one of the more coveted skills you can have. It's just being able to consistently put up points, being able to manage, when you get the bad piece sequences, you can get out of it or take the good enough burns easily enough. And when you get the good piece sequences, you can run with very aggressive pace that maybe some people wouldn't expect out of DAS level players. But when you watch these two play, you almost forget that they are just the DAS capability here, because they can really build up good boards here and just put as many points as practically anyone else in the Tetris community.
So, before I ask the next question, Mart's currently at 173 at 43 lines. So Hazador 152, very close, only separated by Tetris, really. Both playing high, both playing aggressive. And just out of curiosity, what is your commentary experience other than doing Tetris in esports?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, besides Tetris, it runs a bit of it's a complex history. It also depends on how much credence one would want to give it. I've told stories too before, but while I was at college getting my degree for meteorology, my dorm building had a pool table in it, and so we'd run all sorts of events, whether it's academic or community service or social. And the thing I like to do often, and hello to Das Tetris, who's rating, by the way. I'm glad to have you here on the TNP show. But yeah, no, so I would love to run pool tournaments within my own dorm, and I would give play-by-play commentary as the matches were going on. And it's always a nice thing, just to bring 20 or 30 people together, just play some games of 8-ball or billiards. And I've always enjoyed the competitive spirit. There's just been something about being in that moment, seeing that high-level action and intensity that has always been so satisfying to me, all the way from growing up playing board games with my family. There's something so satisfying about it. I think it's one of the reasons why I never get tired of Tetris. Even all this time later, despite taking my occasional rests and respites, which I've been on a bit of this month. It's so nice just to see a friendly game of Tetris, and it's a nice thing to have this opportunity to be here on any given Tuesday and just sit back, watch some matches, play for yourself.
Art's currently at 296. Zohazador 245, both approaching the 100 line mark. I do want to acknowledge as well. Wait, someone rated us. That's Tetris.
Yep.
You did say that. Thank you for the raid. Party of 16. Welcome, everyone. Welcome
Yes,
to
hello,
the show.
Longbar. But
Did have a follow-up question too. Something related to. Oh, Mart's in a bit of trouble here. So I try to remember what I was going to ask in math.
no, bit of a tricky board here for Mart. He's trying to set up here for some high skims to get out of this easily enough, and this is you really have to have nerve of steel to work through tricky situations like these. You cannot afford to have a misdrop when you're this high up on the board here, and so March is really handling it well here. Hopefully the game gives him sufficient pieces to get out of this, and it looks like he is working his way back down here, so just impressive play here by Martz. Pretty much what you would expect from him almost any given match here.
Oh, I do remember what I was going to say. Congratulations on the 122 restreams last month. That's just incredible. Zahar transitioned to level 19, 396. March doing so as well, 328. That's just incredible. That is a record of some sort. It has to be. Actually, continue that. We gotta make sure that March survives here. Up high for someone who plays DAS. Mischief of that S is going to create further complications. We need something for the left side. I don't know if anything can. No, hangs a Longbar, and that's going to be it for March, stopping out at 338. So has the already at 445 would be good for game number 1. Jeez.
That was already a rough one here, especially with Sahasudar having about 100,000 point lead at the time of March topping out. So it's proving to be more efficient there in game 1 and rightfully taking the early advantage here.
Were you expecting that number of 122?
No, I'm glad you brought it up, though. I sort of had a rough idea what was going to be it, because I was, in order to also keep track of all the restreams I was taking, I would write down on my calendar the various UTC times as I took stuff, and so I had massive board of all these different times by the end of the month. I think I have a screenshot of that somewhere I can put in the Discord, but it was never my plan, really. I wasn't out to have some legacy moment or have this moment of glory. I just, as I think I said during last week's episode of TNP, I've never been the best when it comes to presentation, being able to have fancy music, a restream setup that looks top notch. My goal has always been to provide people with opportunities to be able to play Tetris. And so that was really my goal there throughout the month. I guess my own stuff going on throughout my life allowed me the flexibility to be able to take so many of those matches. Both players seem to be ready here for game 2, by the way.
Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
But yeah, I was certainly.
This is saying that you're very loud versus me. Is it too much? Is it too loud? How bad is it?
I don't know. He's saying the mic is more aggressive, so I don't know if you're able to change the audio levels from my end, or.
I can lower yours 8. Comparatively, yes, I think. Okay, I'll chop you down a bit here.
There.
That should be good enough. March starting off with 13,000, so Hazardar 69. Looks like, yeah, clean starts for both of these players. So Hazardor, no place for that L needed to burn away. It's going to reestablish the board to become. So Hazardor was already Tetris ready. I thought he was trying to rebuild. Not the case. Once again, so Hazardor Tetris ready. Now this is a Tetris that I recognize was a Tetris ready board. and
Yes.
they were slamming down.
Yeah,
Looking
looks
good.
like Mart's had to do a little bit more early burning than he was hoping to through those early lines, but now he's getting on a good rhythm here. But yeah, so he's to give the TLDR of the question you had asked me. I didn't expect that month to play out the way it did Tetris wise, but I was grateful that the opportunity was there because, as I said pretty much from day one, I've wanted to be more involved in the community, to get to know the members of it a lot better. And so being able to be a part of those restreams, to get to interact with the players, to see some genuinely amazing competitive feats of Tetris was certainly an honor to do. And of course, as I've also noted, it won't be a one-off here. I will plan on being back in action soon enough as it is. Going to taking perhaps a bit of a rest here for go off and running. But it looks like there's been a bit of a slowdown across the divisions as well. This week is going to be the first gold division that's formed within 2 or 3 weeks here. But right now, there's still plenty of action going on in bronze and silver, I believe. I know you've been in the midst of a very intense division of your own there. How's that been going?
Oh boy, don't get me started.
Well,
It's been a bad week for me. Well, for the most, or towards the end, I should say. Um, had a rough set with Let's Create. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
yeah.
I just feel off. Like I don't know what it is. It showed in the game. I just didn't play well. I mean, obviously, I played sloppy Tetris, simple as that, and Lacrete deserved that win 100%. Um, I just maybe I shouldn't have played that day. Maybe I should have waited. Oh, March, a lot of misdrops. March's board is falling apart, trying to salvage something from all of this mess here. Jail dependent, dependencies everywhere, holes everywhere. Marts?
You can see the frustration from Martz. He's just trying to get out of this. So Housedar's currently got him at an 80,000 point lead here, but really March needs to focus on surviving, getting out of this.
Yeah, Mart's not getting the right pieces either. It now gets it. Alright, needs to know the Longbar. Needs multiple everythings. I think Mart's cut off the left side, and yeah, was trying to hold up for Longbar, never came, and March is topping out at 302. So Hazadar, already at 405, is going to get game number 2. GG's.
Unfortunate play there, because both players are doing a pretty good job keeping good distance between one another until that unfortunate sequence of events there for Martz.
There, March says misdrop, loss of DAS, early shift. Was 3 strikes. Yeah. Definitely not how you want to go out, but it happens.
Yeah. Even down 2-0 though, Mart's still very much alive in this match here. Martz can certainly kick into a new gear. Seemingly at will here, and he's going to have to put up something special here to keep up with Hasadar in this game 3.
Yeah, let's count it down. Let's see if Martz can rebound and take game off Dar. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. But yeah, this week has been like a mixed bag. I feel like in terms of performance, beginning of the week, felt like I was doing pretty well. I was able to get like 700k and then 700k and the 600k games, and then the match with Lacrete, just early top outs. Just wasn't playing safely, being too aggressive, not taking the burns. Like it was just a mess. So, and that led to my demise. But because I know that's the situation, or that's because I know that's the mindset I'm currently in. Um, that's just telling me I just need a break, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break for a week off of competitive play and just recharge. That's all I can really do, and hopefully, by next time I verse, I believe Wahlberg will be my next opponent. Um, I should be refreshed and ready to go.
No, yeah, I can absolutely respect that. I guess in addition to a bit of the restream break that I've taken during this month, I've also taken a bit of a comp break since I had, I think, apparently 27 matches last month, most of those being in the gold division, but really I had to go up against some top-notch players, including Arts, faced in the back-to-back divisions, and so sometimes I think it's important to avoid burnout. You have to take a step back, yeah, focus on yourself here, make sure that you're in the right frame of mind, because Tetris is very much a mental game here, so it's hard to just come in every single match just being ready to go at it. Even at the highest levels here, I've seen plenty of players who have needed to take a step away, focus on themselves before they can be able to play the game to the best of their ability. So, yeah, absolutely.
Art's currently at 53, Zosdor 190. So um, what are your warning signs uh, that tells you you need a break from Tetris and all that?
That is a good question. It's hard to quantify, but there are points where when I'm finding myself getting consistently frustrated, because even on matches where I lose or where I get my butt kicked, if I'm having fun with it, then I don't mind too much. If I'm just getting overly frustrated and just critical of myself, I find that that's when I realize, I need to just take a step back here, maybe do some other stuff, come back to the game when I'm ready. Because, as I've told everyone, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then what's the point of doing it in the first place? And I think that's just a good mindset to have throughout life. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And so, in my mind, Tetris should never feel like a chore or a task. It should be a hobby. It should be something that you always look forward to every match, every opponent, even if you think, might end up being a close match or a complete blowout. Regardless of who you're playing, you have to look forward to every opponent you play. And sure, for people like March who've played countless hundreds of opponents, he still has just as much enjoyment in his 1500th or wherever he's at than as he did when he was first starting out himself. Well, Mark's maybe not enjoying this game as much here right now, down by about 160,000 points here. So, Mark's running into some problems here on his board, and doesn't look like it's going to happen here for Martz.
Yeah, Martz is done, topping out at 193. Yeah, that's 193.
Yep.
So Azador, you're good for game number 3 in the set. GG's. I need a pen. I do not have a pen.
Fair enough. While you're doing that, it looks like we will have this one additional match here in the making, since it looks like Billy Max and this and that would like to challenge each other here.
Perfect. So that would be the next match, actually, because I believe there was an open slot between Martz and the third game. I confirm that.
Yeah, it seems like we have almost everyone here except maybe 8 Mansion. I think I've seen 8 Mansion in chat yet, but
yeah, it would be, yeah, if Billy Mac and this can go right away, that'd be just beyond perfect.
oh, I do see 8 Mansion in chat. Hello there, 8 Mansion.
Mansion, welcome. I owe you a pun. What that will be, I have no idea. Thank you,
Right.
Martz and Zazador, for joining. And March, thank you for the bits. I greatly appreciate that. And oh, I need to catch up with what's happening in the activity here.
Quite a bit. Looks like people are looking for potential matchups to do. But yeah, so for anyone joining here, if you are looking to play a match for a TNP show tonight, still a couple open spots here. So I see Can in chat. I see Rin in chat. Can versus Rin actually could be an interesting one there if those two end up wanting to play each other. You see Rin's a 1.1 player here, and Can certainly has some high potential capabilities. So if you two are looking for opponents here. Hello, Zahasadar. Assuming this and that would be ready to go right now, I guess we could take them and Billy Mac here. Billy Mac has confirmed that he's ready to go, so all right, and this and that also saying they're able to play now, so then yeah, I guess that'll be the plan then. I'm assuming Coverdale's is setting up for the next matchup there. Here, let me reflect that in the queue. Oh. To end the original match there. There we go. So yeah, as you see it in the queue right now, that would be the order we're running with here. Coverdose, you find that pen?
I did.
Okay.
And it doesn't work.
Ah, heck.
Will this work? Yes. Okay, we're good. So this and Mr. Mac. You know, I'm going to change the music variety here. We're going to be less intense. It's going to be less intensive music, and we're going to go more chill. Where's my chill track here? Feels like it's just one of those nights. Why not? But yes, Belingus, thank you for the follow. This and that's requested and don't get me started thing, which
Yeah.
I actually I already talked about my rant of the week, which I forget what I said. Something. I said something.
Fair enough.
And Lotus, man, thank you for the resub. Appreciate that. Okay, Billy Mac is up. This is live, but it's not. There he is. Okay. So when I looked at, let's get you guys seats here. From a distance, when you look at this and that's profile picture, to me it initially looked like some type of abstract painting of like a person looking to its left, but after expressing that to this, he's like, "No, it's not. It's just a crumpled up piece of paper." I'm like, "Oh, I see it." I just couldn't comprehend what that was I was looking at, but it totally makes sense that it looks like a piece crumpled up piece of paper. But it's crazy.
Admittedly, yeah, my brain saw this and that PvP and thought of a pine cone. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Oh, I see that too. Yeah. But then you look down and you see the hand. I'm like, oh, that everything is like clicking right now. It totally makes sense. It's just a piece of paper. Oh, both players are ready. Let's count it down. Game number 1. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So you have played Billy Mac before. What is his capabilities?
Yeah, so Billy Mack is a really impressive player. He, I'm not mistaken, the last 2 divisions he played in, both Gold 38 and Gold 40, he came just short of qualifying for promotion to CTL, which is impressive because Billy also representing the DAS play style here, and to an extent, his skill set that matched up somewhat with Mart's here. Billy is another one of those types of players who you just end up when you face, that you have to be on your game here. Billy certainly has the capability to have strong 18 games and then more often they'll carry those games through into 19. He can sometimes run into a bit of a slowdown here, but when he's on his game, you really can't afford to make mistakes against a player like Billy. I think this Nat can certainly put up a good challenge here. So I'm curious to see how things go between these two.
Well, so what was your results with Billy? How did those match ended?
I believe, if I'm calling correctly, when I played Billy in Gold 40, I want to say, swept him on the first set and then lost 3-2 on the second set, which admittedly I think I sort of maybe caught off guard with that first set. I sort of caught myself off guard I had a lot of sets in golds where I just kept performing well past what was my normal level.
This is topping out at 102. So Billy Mack, it looks like he's topping out as well, topping out at 85. So first game is going to go to this. GG's.
And they're right there again. It's rare to see those sorts of moments happen to Billy, but looks like it's just a rough piece sequence that took both of them out there. So this and that, managing to narrowly come away with that one there. And looks like this and that wants to go to level 15 here for game 2.
Let's do it with me. Let's count down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So, if you're Billy Mack, what is your strategy when versing this and that?
Now, this and that's a very interesting type of player. As memory serves me correctly here, last week's TNP show I actually got to face this and that, and he's the type of player where you look at his numbers here, see that he doesn't have a high 19 PB, and so you figure, okay, surely if you can just play pretty consistent game here, play to survive, you can probably outlast this and that. But I was taken aback when I saw this and that carry games to, I think, as far as level 26 and even level 28. And so this and that's a very interesting type of player where he gets on a rhythm. He can just take games for miles here. And not necessarily someone who is going to have a high ceiling here, but when he can hit that ceiling, he's as dangerous as a gold player. So I was really impressed by the level of play that this and that had. And as a note, it's really unfortunate that you have so many of these really top tier players all in silver 50, whether it's you or this and that, or Let Create, or T Spin, just all these players, or Omen 4. Practically everyone in that division is capable of playing at a high level. But unfortunately, you only get a maximum of 2 people who can come away victorious from that division.
Billy Mack currently at 44. This 98. We do see, or I do see a couple people saying hi in chat. Hello, Ken. Hello. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce his name. I can. Mitaros. How do you pronounce that?
I will trust Majors, or however you say it, to correct us if we're saying that wrong.
Can I schedule a game for next week? It's abnormal, but I mean, someone did last week for Wednesday's show. I guess? I don't know. I'm too laid back to care. I know there's supposed to be like a procedure and all that for like who can, when matches are, or when the signups are available and all that, but it's the fact that you're coming at all and you want to play is just it's just crazy enough for me. Like,
We can get something arranged. If need be, we'll add enough matches that Coverdale's can challenge the 5-hour barrier for another TNP episode.
Oh God. I was so beat. I was so happy like I didn't have I was so, how can I put this? I was so emotionally exhausted. I remember like next day I went to work, I had to tell my boss something and it was all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Like my boss was looking at me like I had 3 heads. And I'm like, what did I say? And then I replayed it in my head. I was like, oh yeah, that that look was warranted. Um but yeah, I definitely know my limits. However, will I ignore those limits and do it anyway? Yep, that's me. So I'm going to use that same because it might cause complications in the future. At the moment, I care less. As long you can do so. It's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just the only thing you have to do is just DM me with that you want to do it and have an opponent in mind too. And just say, hey, reserve this slot for next week's show for X time. And I'll put it in. This currently up high board, not in the best shape. Jail dependent. It was jail dependent, not Longbar dependent.
I was going to say, this is a crazy run here by this and that so far. About 300,000 points through roughly 80 lines here, but board's starting to spiral a bit. Billy is already into level 16 here, as this and that's trying to get the board under control before transition.
And it's not going to happen. This is going to top out at 314. Billy Mack already at 332 would be good for game number 2. And we'll tie to set. I will be versing this and that later at some point this month. And like I said before, like if you if this gets into a rhythm, uh, this can be very dangerous, and
Yeah.
I have to be careful of that. I,
Yeah,
I gotta be my A game, and with any of these players in silver, it's just you can't sleep. You can't, like, even 8 months ago, in order to get the gold, all you needed was competent 18 play and be able to play a little bit of 19. Now, silver has turned into you have to play great 19. Um, you need to have at least 400k transitions going into 400k transitions, and um, you need to think about pace, which is kind of what I hinted with the 400k paces. But that's basically what I'm saying. Like you didn't need those skills for even 4 months ago, and that just shows the how much the skill level has uh, uh the skills inflation, I guess.
yeah.
That has been uh, what's the word I'm looking for, shown in this division so far. If you understand what I'm saying, if I'm making any sense here.
No, yeah, you are. The standard has certainly reached amazing heights here. You have to be able to play efficiently and play to survive. Obviously, every division is going to have its own triumphs and pitfalls and whatnot, but I feel like in past silver divs or past silver divs that I both witnessed and played in, it would have been enough if you could just survive, take most of your games to 19, maybe put up points where you needed to, but now you have to be able to go toe to toe here, be running like a certain level of Tetris throughout your 15 or 18 games. And we're seeing a good bit of that from This and That on that last game. Prior to getting to the dig sequence, which led to the top out, This and That was nearly on 400k transition pace, which off a 15 start, that's very absurd. 400k transition off a 15 start is roughly like 90% Tetris rate.
Oh wow. And this is just silver. This is a silver division player who is like a year ago would have been probably a graduate of TNP, and now today this is has a below 500 record in silver, and that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I feel like, and I've said this, I probably have expressed this in the general chat before, but I do believe at some point these a lot of these players in TNP are going to need 29 play in order to graduate. It may not be today or maybe late this year, but I can see it within the next year and a half, where we're probably going to need double kill screen for TNP. And I know that's crazy to hear, but I do believe that's the level of competition we're going to see, especially with we have a lot of players with a lot of players that we don't even know yet are training right now, who already have 500Ks, and in a couple months are probably going to in a couple months are going to be max outers. They're going to jump right into the scene and destroy everyone. That's when we're going to really need to consider double kill screen play. So, yeah, be prepared, everyone. No one's safe.
All right, looks like both players are ready for game 3, by the way.
Yes. Let's count it down. Game number 3. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, sorry for the long monologue there, guys. I know a lot of people.
It's okay. The This and That's really getting the full benefit of the don't get me started rewards cash in.
Yeah, it once you get me started. I know it's a joke at this point, but it's true. Once I get started, I just can't stop.
No, I can respect that. And like both the benefit and maybe also the disadvantage you have in having me here alongside you is that I am subject to rambling myself here.
This with a complicated board, Longbar dependent. I don't think anything gets to the left side, and that's going to be an early top out unless he gets a Longbar. No, he won't, and that's going to be it for this. Hopping out at 29. So just like that, Billy's up 2-1.
Wow, that's just so unfortunate too, because I didn't see anything really too flawed in the setup. This and that was going with there. Just got stuck with the long bar dependency and couldn't get the right pieces to build around it. Man, you hate to see that.
Oops. I almost wrote 2 in chat. That was for the score counter. And that's what I get for you guys saying nice things about me.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get it down. Game number 4. Four, 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
And here we go. We reach what I think of as the crossroads of any set here. Good old game number 4.
This
Nice
briefly had a what's it called? The pit of doom formation on his board. Was able to clean that up pretty nicely. Have you heard of that term before? The pit of doom?
I don't think I have. I mean, I'm familiar with some of the, well, I guess what level of advanced or complexity you want to say with the Tetris moves. Familiar with some stuff that isn't naturally inherent, like, the 5 and below, whatnot. See, I've seen enough of it, but there are some things that you'll say, like a Coriolan adjustment or whatnot, and you'll see that. And those are the types of things that I will always see when I'm having to commentate matches. I'm more just focused on the scoring potential, how our players building their boards up, all that. I feel you sometimes have a bit of a different vision from what I'm paying attention to in a game here, which I appreciate.
Yeah, we both had different I don't want to say commentating styles. It's more like we're looking at for commentating this different sides of the same coin here. I look at more formations and you look at more of like, scoring and pace, which is equally as important. I probably don't do that enough. But yeah, I think, I was talking to Frenchie. She was talking about how focusing on what's happening, like what formations you say on the board, is she thinks that is paramount that's equally as paramount versus keeping track of score. This currently at 185, Billy Mac 171. Yeah, she was talking about how for someone who streams Tetris, you need to assume that the players or the people that are watching don't know anything about Tetris. So you kind of, in a way, she explained like you gotta explain it as if just that people don't know. And pointing out information like that is part of that. So that was kind of the mindset. That's kind of like my new mindset going doing these or doing commentaries at the moment. Um, and not to say either too like what you're doing is wrong. That's definitely not what I'm saying. It's just it's just another way of just doing the same thing. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I can certainly appreciate that. I've heard Sharky talk about similar things. His path to becoming a better commentator and being able to do work for CTM and even CTWC. So I do think it's important to be able to have that type of discussion or that real-time talking that can help accommodate for both veterans of the game and newcomers to help them understand and appreciate what they're seeing in the game here. To really be able to appreciate the moment. And speaking of the moment right now, this and that, we're into a bit of a tricky board here, but managed to get out of it.
I was very scary for this. I really thought he was going to top out there. Had he not got the right pieces, that would have absolutely been a top out for him. But survives and got bit a little bit. But to a misdrop of the J is going to put him back in a dig. Let's see how he gets out of this. Oh,
this is a pretty close game right well here. Billy Mack ahead by less than a Tetris here, so depending on how things can go here in these 10 or 15 lines before transition, this game could very well be decided on 19 play, but first this and that needs to get ready for a board that will be survivable on 19. Doesn't have a lot of time to do it.
Not getting the right pieces, and that's going to be a top out from this, topping out at 394. And that's going to give Billy Mack the set with a score of 450 going into transition, which is excellent. And this was betting for Longbar. Had the Longbar dependency in column 9 just never came, and couldn't find anything to plug down there either, and just fortunately topped out. And there's no place for that L either. Just trying to put in columns 7 and 8, but had he done that, that would have blocked off column 9 or column 9 as well. So that would have led to a top out anyway. So there's really no win-win situation for this. But nonetheless, a great game.
Yeah,
for both of these players.
As I said at the start of the set, you just can't afford to make mistakes against a player like Billy. You will push you, force you to play your best Tetris.
So what was the last score? What was Door defeats Martz by how much? It was like 3-1, or was 3-0?
I believe it was 3-0.
3-0. And I totally missed the. What time did we start? It was, or what time did it finish? Like 23.
I believe it finished around 29, 28 thereabouts.
This.
Lovisman excited to see the legendary red glove one can find from a certain individual in TNP we're about to see.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's get that set up. Oh wait, not the Lovis man. Why am I putting him up? So has a door. No, I'm not spelling that right. Mans. Oh, I did. Okay. I can English for today.
You got this. Here, I'll save you a few seconds here and generate the seed for Mansion in Zahassadar.
English is hard. Don't worry. Yeah. Sometimes I speak, even though English is only my only spoken language that I know, I sometimes speak as if it's my second, and I just accept that. I totally accept that. But just like Tetris, it's a lifetime skill that will take, it takes time to develop.
Yes, public speaking is not a natural skill to develop.
Yeah, even like a couple years ago, like had I been given this opportunity to do restreaming and all that, I probably wouldn't have taken it because I just was not confident with my public speaking. But just from taking public speaking classes and like doing other things involving public speaking, I felt like it was just the right time for me to try this out. I'm like, I because I think like I kind of commentate a lot when I'm like watching football games, and I feel like I'm pretty good. I'm giving insight. I usually watch football with my family, um, and they're like, and I like to give my comments here and there. And I think about that moment, and I think about what a Tetris restreamer has to do, and I'm thinking, oh, I think I can do that too. And it's worked out so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I certainly appreciate that. As I think I've mentioned, I went to college for meteorology and did that with a focus on broadcasting communications. So I've had plenty of experience speaking in front of a camera before, having the pressure of being able to perform with certain expectation of deliverance and timing and all of that.
Let's count down. Both players are ready. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, I actually I know someone else who is into meteorology. He actually recently got a job with the National Weather Service. He's been running that for years, and like when, and funny enough, I think you're the second person in the Tetris community who's actually has either went to school for meteorology or has a job in meteorology, and that's kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like it's comforting for me knowing that I can talk to someone that has a meteorology background and understand what they're saying and not pretend like, oh, I know nothing. Because I did learn a lot from my friend about all different weather stuff. Mention let's drop there. But yeah, I feel like I can pull my weight when I do have a conversation with someone who has meteorology, and yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll be honest.
No, yeah,
Oh, nice triple from Mansion, currently at 89. So has door 85.
yeah, pretty close game right now between these two. So Hasadar having to build one off the bottom here, but nice efficient board here for the most part here. Also, hello, Omenfor. I saw you in chat there. I don't know when exactly I'll be back to full capacity of playing and restreaming. Ideally soon. Having to work through some stuff on personal end of things right now. Miss you too, so I appreciate the kind words, Omenfor. Actually, going back to something we were talking about in the last set there, I think Omenvar actually has a nice style of the commentary as well. Whenever I've gotten to hear his coverage of Tetris matches, he has a really nice way of just weaving a certain narrative of the game between two players. You can really feel like it's more than just a match going on, it's another chapter in a story, and so I always appreciate that from Omenvar's commentary.
But I'm kind of curious what Omenvar's commentary background is as well. Don't quote me on this. Maybe Omenvar can answer this right now, but I believe he said like he has done commentary of some sort in the past. That'd be interesting to hear. Mansion currently at 210 with that triple, I believe. So has door 245. But yes, I feel like when I'm in Amour's streams, for me, there's this level of, I don't know, like it's a more relaxed environment, I feel like. So how's the door? Got some awkward pieces, but it's able to handle it pretty well. And I feel like I actually do better in his streams versus other people. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
I think I understand what you mean. There's a certain atmosphere when you get a restream from Omenvar. He has this certain energy he carries with him, which I can certainly respect. I think for a lot of my own restreams, again, I never focus on a lot of the presentation, so maybe a lot more on the technical side. I'm like, okay, this person's playing this person from this division. Here's their high scores. You get the SPS. Here's how you two are doing the divisions. I usually just sort of run through the motions, as it were.
Oh, interesting placement on Longbar from Chin. Oh,
Me?
board is falling apart. I don't know what. I think. Mansion? What happened? What happened? Looked like he just lost Das, but he's a roar, so I'm really confused. I'm like,
I think I can somewhat understand. There's Hasadar, you're good here for game number 1, by the way. But I think it's sort of one of those mental things where the piece doesn't go as you expect it to, and so your ability to just process what to do with the rest of the board starts to break down. Oh, controller issue.
oh, okay. So yeah, so Astor gets a game of 1, brings it up 1-0.
Omenvar saying no commentary in my past, just a lot of public speaking from my position at work.
Oh, okay.
Also, thank you, this and that. I appreciated those words as well.
Yeah, I feel like every restreamer has its own. Yeah, it has its own way of commentating, which gives a different. Yeah, everyone has their own style, and that style creates the environment. So like I said before with Longbar, for me, there's that level of calmness. When I hear your streams, it's more technical. It's like I understand. It's a, it's I guess more black and white. It's more black and white. Um, Here's the situation. Um, Here's what's going on. It gives me a clear picture of what's happening, which is which I do like. Um, but you also too like the way you commentate, Matt. There is this. I feel like you have both. You have that like you have a calm voice, and you also have the technical side, and I think that helps players stay focused as well. I think. Um,
Fair enough. I appreciate the compliment as well. Also, it mentioned if you want to check your controller before we start the next games to make sure that it's working well. Looks like we've got the readies on both ends here, as is.
yeah, I never had really had to explain commentary styles. Like I don't really have the words to put those sentences. Oh, both players are ready. That's kind of
Yeah.
down. This is the English part that challenges me. 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
All right, into game 2 we go. Yeah, I think I understand what you're getting at. Is to try and describe my own approach to restreaming as best as I can. I will often go for an approach that perhaps.
Oh,
Ooh,
Mansion hanging the long bar. Able to get another one over. Did have a vid set up, but decides to just burn it away. Yeah, this is something's wrong with Mansion's controller. This is going to lead to the top out pretty soon. Yeah, there's really nothing Mansion can do to recover from this. So it's going to be top out 5,300. And that's going to give Zahazadar game number 2, just like that, with 69. Hey now.
eight mentioned saying that was just a mental lapse there. So he's going to take the blame for that one. But if you still need a moment to your the way, Mansion, feel free to take it.
Oh my gosh, I almost put 2 in chat again. Why? Oopsies. Look like Mansion is trying to shake off the whatever demons is haunting him. Yeah, let's. Both players are ready. Let's try game number 3 without Mansion topping out early. I believe in you. Let's get it down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
It's time for a Mansion to unlock his Halloween alter ego, Haunted Mansion.
That's great.
Gosh darn, that was not the pun you requested, Lovis Men, but that one was for free. Anywho, I guess going back to what I was saying before, game 2 miscues there. Yeah, when I do my commentary for TNP or otherwise, I guess a lot of the time it's more oriented towards the players being able to give them the info on how their opponents are doing, what the situation is, what they necessarily might need to do at the time being. Because obviously, when you're in the midst of playing, you're not really too focused on what the other player is doing. You're just trying to ensure that you're having your best performance. And so being able to provide that info can maybe help the players be in a state of, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where my opponent's at, based off what the commentator saying. Maybe I can make these necessary adjustments, or maybe I can afford to get a little bit safer here, or maybe now I know I need to go a bit more all in here because my opponent's not slowing down. So it's maybe less suited towards the audience, although when I am fortunate enough to commentate for larger audiences, I always try to keep them involved too, since I think having that engagement is also important. But that's, it's not something I actively think about, but to put into words, I suppose what I essentially focus on when I'm doing commentary.
What do you think is counterproductive in terms of like what is unhelpful for players in terms of no so when a commentator does their thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're commentating what you do. It's more analytical. What I do is give more board state updates, which is very important. What do you think is the least important, and what is the least important aspect that a commentator could say, and do you see that kind of mistake happen with newer restreamers?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I don't want to say there's a lot of wrong ways to go about commentating, because, as you noted, everyone has their various ways of looking at the game and talking about the game. And I think just having that willingness to be able to go on the mic and to be able to do this sort of thing in front of an audience, whether it's large or small, I think is nice in its own right. I guess if I were to nitpick or perhaps more constructively give advice, I never want to say anything that's discouraging when I match, like, oh, this player has impossible odds here, this player is going up against someone who's got twice their PB. I try to sort of just appreciate the moment. I want to be able to say stuff that'll help the players enjoy the game. Obviously, I don't want to candy coat things, like, if the player's in a rough spot here, I'll do my best to work through the situation, like, hey, I just got to take it one game at a time. Or if a player has a really bad moment, I don't disparage them necessarily. Like, everyone's going to have their up and down games. So I think it's just important to, if what I'm saying makes sense here, you want to be able to appreciate both sides here, have that unbiased view, have that view, regardless of who wins or loses, sort of just building a moment here, building an experience, a memory. The reality is that there's always going to be winners and losers, but I think it's more about the journey of that collection of wins and losses. I think matters more here than who comes away with the epic victory or the crushing defeat. So
subjective approach. Oh no, Mansion's board's falling apart, and that's going to be a top out for Mansion. Had a great pace going. Tops out 416. Hazardor already at 532 would be good for game number 3 in the set. Unfortunate ending. Fortunately had some, Mansion had some controller issues and stuff, but Mansion, you will be back. This game does not represent, what you're capable of. Clearly, you're capable of more, but you just got screwed over by the controller.
No, yeah, I think quick credit where credit is due there. Mansion put up a good fight in this one. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate sequences that ended up playing out there, but credit to Zahasadar as well for really not making it easy here.
$8.19.
See?
Um, if it's a mistake newer restreamers make, I definitely made IY. What is that? Or I definitely made.
Oh,
I definitely.
if it's a mistake nerdy streamers made, I definitely made it.
Oh, it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem, Mansion. Always glad to have you here. Another regular of the TNP show, speaking of which.
GamerZ says, I see no Alex T. I mean, that's why I put up the wanted sign, obviously. You get one Longbar in return. I call that a deal. Who do we have next?
Next on the queue would be yourself versus this and that is what is listed here. And then currently at the moment, no other confirmed matches beyond that, although again, if people want to play, we still have the open spots. I'm willing to take a competitor myself here. But I'm far from warmed up.
I'm warmed up as well. I've not played all day. I see a frantic Coverdale's trying to get the TV ready and stuff. Let's change mansion to Coverdale's. Then this is name. Yeah, some people think that my name is Dale. It's not the case. It's actually James.
Huh. That's an interesting one. Versus Challenger part of the TNP show.
My room's a goddamn mess. I'm so sorry.
Nah, don't worry about it. No one's here to focus on the background. We're here to focus on the Tetris.
Why is it?
Alright. I'm going to assume that the two of you also want SPS, so I'll generate a seed here, and then I can also pin it in the channel. Tink. All right. There you go. So whenever you two are ready to go, we can feel free to take a bit of warm up first. Oh, hello to Boxy. If you were wondering what the mentioning was about Boxy, I believe that was a Hasadar wanting to challenge you to a match on the TNP show. And yes, that would count for Elo. Coverdale's has the higher... Oh, is this... Wait. Higher seed. What is this for?
Oh, this is just a regular just a regular match, it's not a div match.
Oh, okay.
But I think what this wants is like just to simulate a div match versus me. I think that's what he's trying to say.
All right. All right. So we'll be ready to go in just a moment here, or at least this and that ready to go here, but gotta make sure we got fully functioning Coverdale's here before we get underway on this one. So as Coverdale's doing a little bit of warm up here, hello to everyone here for this edition of the TNP show. Just to do the quick run through in my head of what episode we're on. Should be able to have this figured out by now. 8, 15, 22, 29, 5, 12, 19, 26. There's an extra one in that. 2, 9, 16, 23, 30. Should be episode 16 then of the TNP show, if I got that right. And tomorrow will be episode 17 then. That's cool. Let's see. Coverdale's going to select the 15 start here for game number 1. This and that, meanwhile, going with the so slow that the color palette has gone frozen. The level 0 strats, yes. Alright, taking it. Oh, yes, C to 0C, 49 CF should be pinned as well. Yes. 0C, 49 CF is the seed. This and that is still running the 0 start here. Alright, I think we're ready here. Alright, you got the ready from this and that, the ready from Coverdale's. Let's get this one counted down here. Best of luck to both players. Starting off game number 1 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, so here we go. So, welcome back to another lovely match here on episode 16 of the TNP show. TNP show has now reached its Sweet 16. And this should be a very sweet match here between Coverdale's and this and that. Two players, certainly of admirable caliber here, if I do say so. We talked a good bit earlier in this episode about the intensity of Silver 50 right now, and both these players having the front row seat to that chaos. And these two players going to have an old friendly duel here between each other to see who can fare better here. This and that having to go through a good bit of early burning here through the first 15 or so lines. Coverdale's managing to get one Tetris on the board, but also having to do a good bit of burning. So early on, the score is not too much separating these two for the most part. Right now, Coverdale's at 48,000. This and that at 10,000 here. This and that having to build the board a bit on the high side here. Is waiting for the arrival of the Longbar, but not seeing all too many of them. Now finally getting one here to go up to 34,000. Coverdale sitting at 69,000. Nice. So Of course, still very early on in this game here, so plenty that can happen here on this match, which, as it stands, I believe would be the last one, at least for the episode, unless, again, for anyone watching, if they want to try and get a match in, free to look around for an opponent. I also wouldn't object to taking on someone myself here, potentially, but I guess if the episode ends early, it's not the end of the world either. We've had some pretty long episodes of the TNP show recently, so. And will be a double showing of TNP show this week, so for anyone looking for some extra Tetris action, feel free to stop by again tomorrow at, I believe, 17 UTC, I want to say. Once again, on the Coverdale's channel. Alright. Coverdale is running pretty sizable lead here right now in the game. 132,000 is the score from Coverdale, so 63,000 for this and that. So this and that trailing a bit here, but both players running clean boards right now, so plenty of time for some chaos to come about on this game here, as we are roughly halfway through 15 speeds. Both players continuing to build out their boards pretty well here. Nothing too much of note here. These two just keeping a level ahead here. Not really getting into any messy situations, just continuing to work with what the game is giving them. And the game has given them a good bit here, despite the early burning that our two players had to go through here. This is a pretty respectable scores on both sides here. 230,000 now for Coverdale, so I think was trying to go for the line spin there. And 179,000 for this and that. Was set up for the Tetris here. Coverdale's is not quite in the same position. There's the Tetris for this and that, down by about 35,000 points, or roughly 2 Tetrises on 15 scoring. Of course, we'll soon be out of 15 scoring here. Roughly 25 lines to go for our two competitors. The thing is certainly getting interesting here right off the get-go on game number 1. Coverdale's board running into quite a few complications here. It's going to try and look for a creative solution to get this board back to a healthy state. Is Longbar dependent on that column 3? Is having to build up here. Gets the Longbar, so that's going to help out. This and that still running with the clean board here, and has taken the lead now on the game. 258,000 for this and that, 245,000 for Coverdale's. Both players about to reach level 16 here. Coverdale's trying to get the board to a more reasonable height before transition kicks in, and transition does now kick in. Coverdale's going in at around 250,000. Only about halfway up the board here, so should be able to survive this sequence as long as the game doesn't throw anything too unruly. This and that, one line away from transition is going to take the Tetris to go in at 302,000. So very efficient 15 player there by this and that. We'll have to see how these two fare on the later levels now of this Tetris game, as we are still in game number 1 here between Coverdale's and this and that. Coverdale's getting very high up on the board here, just trying to burn back down to safety. Gets that Longbar over to the left side. That was an important one. This is still a rough case here. Doesn't get the L piece all the way over, and that's going to do it for Coverdale, so tops out at 263,000. This and that already ahead with 347,000. Will be good for game number 1. GG's. So this and that taking the early advantage here. If you want to play out last few lines here, that's up to you, this and that, but you are good either way. And this Cincinnati's going to take the game into 19 here. We'll see how much this Cincinnati is able to do here. As I noted earlier in the episode, this and that shouldn't someone who you wouldn't expect mass performance on 19 play, but this is very consistent here for their 19 play. So if any of these games have to go or require deep runs, this and that will certainly be able to take it on here and showing some of that potential right here, right now. You need to go all the way into level 21 here. It's over 100,000 points beyond transition so far, so really admirable showing here by this and that, although the board's starting to deteriorate a bit here. Might be able to eke out a few more lines. Alright, so there we go. So yeah, that was about 100,000 points through those 27 lines of 19 play. Kudos there to this and that. Yeah, I'd say 3 Tetrises. Sometimes that's all you need, honestly. Alright, so let's get into game number 2 here. Looks like both players are ready. We're going to be going on level 12 this time, so let's get this one counted down here. Starting it off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Here we go for the 12 start. The players off and away on this second game here. Okay. Yes, we got underway on this game number 2. Hopefully everyone's doing well on this fine Tuesday. It is October 8th. We are 8 days into the spooky month. All are doing well. If you or anyone you know is down in the southeast, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone out there as Hurricane Milton is making its approach in that region. Truly one of the more fierce and formidable tropical systems that really has ever been seen, and I don't say that lightly. So, obviously, we're here focused on the Tetris match, but just that note here. These are chaotic times we live in. Yes, 8 Mansion, I'm familiar with Ryan Hall, the weather YouTuber, so I appreciate you mentioning that one. He does do some great work. Alright, early on in this game here, both players at 66,000 points, just a couple hundred points of separating Coverdale's and this and that. And they're equal in lines as well, so these two really playing about a similarly. That word's just tripping me up. These two playing pretty much on par with each other here. Coverdale's had the pseudo Vits set up there, but just working through some necessary burns here for the time being. Nothing too tricky though. They had both players playing with line for line here, Tetris for Tetris, back and forth these two are going, still separated by 1,300 points. This is wild to see. So we'll see who can build up their boards better and who can work through the various situations that these two will endure better. Both players continuing to remain Tetris ready here. Coverdale's getting the long bar for the Tetris. This and that getting the long bar for the Tetris. Coverdale's getting another long bar for another Tetris. So back and forth we go here between these two players. So really just having, more laid back, a nice, easy 12 game here. Nothing too much to note here. Game going well on both sides here, so players doing their best job of surviving for the time being. We are just over halfway through the level 12 speeds. This and that, couple of less than ideal piece placements here, so a couple holes in the stack here, but it is managing to just build through them nonetheless. Still remaining a close game here between these two though. 185,000 for this and that, 208,000 for Coverdale's. Coverdale's continue to do a good job here, keeping the board built. Really a nice build overall across these 9 columns. Coverdale's once again set up for the Tetris, gets the long bar for the Tetris to go up to 226,000. This and that back by about 35,000 points. So a little over 2 Tetrises here. Manages to work through a couple holes in the stack here and is back to a clean board state. So again, both players just taking it easy here. Nothing to worry about right now. Gotta hope that the long bars will arrive on schedule, whatever that schedule may be. There's a pair of long bars for Coverdale's, who will be able to use them both, or a couple Tetrises. This and that also finding the Tetris as well. Coverdale's remaining ahead by roughly 50,000 points here. So we'll certainly have a notable lead going into level 13, which is now about 15 lines away here. So we'll see what our two players do before transition. This and that having to close off the well for the time being. So that's still looking for a good option to reopen the well. Now Coverdale's running into a situation. Oh no, Coverdale's couldn't rotate the long bar into column 7 and tops out at 266,000, which means this and that. You have a chase down here. You need 267,000 points. 267 is your target, this and that. You're in a chase down. This and that is now just reaching level 13. So that was just such an unfortunate situation there for Coverdale's. Had that spire there and couldn't get the long bar around it. But it will give this and that the opportunity to go up to nothing on the set here. Just needs 267,000 points. That Tetris puts this and that up to 259, so one more Tetris will be enough to do it here. And this and that is set up for the Tetris, gets it. And it is now 2-0 for this and that on the set here. So both players really solid, clean play here, but that is really the volatility of Tetris. Sometimes one piece, so one misplaced piece is all it takes for things to go awry. But of course, we are far from done here on this set, so let's see what these two have in store for the third game. Both players are ready to go for the 15 start this time. It's countdown for game number 3, starting it off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, so here we go. Into game 3 we are. All right. As we go to the opening lines of this game, Coverdale's had the eyepiece dependency there in the middle of the stack, but quickly got it filled in. This and that also have to briefly close off the well here, but is taking the necessary burn, so neither player getting a Tetris within the opening 10 lines, but then both opening the well at the same time to get their first Tetris at the same time here. And again, we're really seeing the equal levels of play between Coverdale's and this and that here. Ooh, nice T-tuck there by this and that. Sets up for another Tetris and gets the Longbar for the Tetris. Both players continuing to remain set up here as well. Another Tetris from both sides here. So 67,200 for both sides briefly there. For Coverdale's finding another Tetris on the board. This and that having to do a little bit of burning, and this board's actually getting a bit dicey here for this and that, so gonna have a bit of a situation to work through here. Could give Coverdale's the opportunity to amass a lead, although this and that can't get out of this lead might not make a difference. This is getting dire for this and that. See what they can do to work through this. Does not get the L piece all the way over. And it's not going to happen here for this and that. Tops out at 73,000. So Coverdale's already ahead at 128,000. Is going to be good for game number 3. And we'll take one on the set here. It is now 2-1. GG's. All right, both players ready for game number 4 here. Let's get this one counted down. Starting off game 4 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, great. Mentioned that was a rough, should be 15, I'm assuming. Yes, 15 start. All right, we're good. All right, so here we go into game number 4, and not that I had assumed this and that was bluffing, but they're going to hold true to their words here. They want to go for the left well game, and they seem to be committed to going for the left well game here. So there's a left well Tetris to start this one off from this and that. You know, I appreciate the left well strats. I think, well, it depends on, I guess, how long one has been within the Tetris community. When left willing comes to mind, I think back to some of the pandemic CTWC play of 2020 and 2021, where you had players, oh god, I want to misremember people's names. I want to say it was Uncle Mike and then Anna D. There were these left wellers who didn't know about the meta, didn't know about the strats. They were pretty much cut off from knowing what conventional Tetris play was, and so they had these really unique styles that involved triple flipping and setting up for left wells. They're really good with it too. It was also, of course, before rolling took over by storm, so it allowed for more variety from the various play styles. Or nowadays, of course, well, the top level play all has similar characteristics that we're used to seeing in a given Tetris match, but even nowadays in TNP, I've seen left dwellers within the scene as well. I want to say Vasco's left dweller. Vasco, one of the, I believe from Russia. She's a really good player in her own right. But yes, I'd say left dwelling certainly has a place here. If you can make it work, then all the more credit to you. I've seen a couple of people who have been heavy on doing the center welling as well, and it's a lot more of a nuanced style. It takes a lot more efficiency to be able to maintain center well strats. But again, if you can make it work, then all the more power to you. And this and that board is running some complications here, but otherwise it's a close game early on here. 98,000 points for this and that, 113,000 for Coverdale's. Who's going to take another Tetris here? This and that unable to get the well open right now. Waiting for the right opportunities here, and is going to be able to find those opportunities, taking the necessary burns. Almost back to a Tetris ready state here. Still not quite there yet though, so Coverdale is getting the opportunity to enhance the current lead he has. Coverdale is currently ahead by about 60,000 points here. Both players roughly 2/3 of the way through level 15. This and that, still a couple more burns to work through here. Luckily the board is on the lower side, so plenty of time to figure out the best way out of this and get back to an ideal state. Coverdale is continuing to be in an ideal state here. Takes another Tetris to go to 229,000. Coverdale's immediately setting up for yet another Tetris, so score right now is having Coverdale's ahead by 120,000 points, so this has certainly been a struggle here for this and that, but there's still plenty of lines to go here, and this and that does finally get the left well back open, so we'll see what this and that can do here. Has about 20 lines to work with. Here's the Tetris from this and that, and the Tetris from Coverdale's as well. 270,000 for Coverdale's, 149,000 for this and that. Another Tetris from this and that to go up to 168,000. Has time for potentially 3 more Tetrises if the game gives all the right pieces, but we'll certainly need to do some work here on 18 speeds. And looks like this and that would rather not deal with the left well here going into the 18 speeds, which is perfectly reasonable. So this and that's going to transfer back to the right well here, get one more Tetris in, and transitions into level 16 with 209,000 points. Coverdale is currently sitting at 327,000. Gets one Tetris here, has time for one more before level 16, and is going to get it. So Coverdale's transitioning to level 16 with 367,000. He leads by 150,000 points. So we might have to see 18 play and 19 play from this and that in order to wrap up the set here. Otherwise, Coverdale's will be able to force the decider. And that's going to have to do a little bit of burning here. That left is well built out though, so it's going to have time to get through this. Really don't want to take too much time here because this would be a rough spot to transition into level 19 as it stands. Still time to go, but Coverdale's continuing to score away here, now at 432,000. Isn't that back at 224,000? So we'll see what this and that is able to do here. Just has to keep going through it one line at a time, one level at a time. Is almost ready for transition. Won't be able to go in with a perfectly clean board, but gets the well open and does get the Tetris on level 19 here. So great survival there by this and that. Currently at 258,000. Coverdale's at 460,000. Takes one more Tetris before level 19 as well. So here we go. Both players now playing on 19 speeds. And this is what you want to see here. Oh, that is not what you want to see from this and that's board, which is starting to go out of control here. not going to be able to get any more lines, and this and that topping out at 263,000, which means Coverdale's is good for game number 4, and we will reach the decider on this set. What a chaotic set it has been. You love to see it. So Coverdale's, feel free to play out the rest of the 19 play here, but you are good for game number 4. GG's. This and that saying, no more left well here. Nah, it's okay. I appreciate, you said you're gonna go for it. You went for it, so I respect you for that. Who cares if it didn't go the best? If you're gonna end up running into the decider anyway, you might as well do it in style. And admittedly, with how Coverdale's is playing on this game, it would have been tough to keep up even with the right well. This is really impressive showing here by Coverdale's. Over 600,000 points on level 23. Couple misdrops here. Not sure how much more Coverdale's can do, and the answer is won't be able to do any more, but 629,000 points. That is absolutely wild scoring there. Just to put that into perspective, this and that's PB is 647,000, so Coverdale's basically playing 97% of this and that ceiling there. And so Hasadar is happy for the decider. See what level we get here for game number 5. Looks like Coverdale's will pick the level here. Yeah, I agree, Hasadar. I absolutely see this and that reaching at least the 700k plateau soon enough. 15 start, alright. Sounds good. For 0, I lost the seed. That sounds correct. Alright, yeah. 4-0 it is. Wait for the ready from both sides here. We got one from this and that. We got one from Coverdale's. Here we go. The epic decider. How will it play out? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay, so here we go. All comes down to this. How will it go between this and that and Coverdale's? 2 players whose destinies are really just inevitably intertwined here. That win or loss. It's not the first time these two have had an epic battle between each other, and it certainly won't be the last. Let's see what these two can do here with the high stakes, with everything on the line here. who gets the last laugh on this game here. Coverdale's having to do some high skims there, but managing to keep his composure, work his way through it. So great instincts, managing to get out of that one. So I guess not fully out of it technically, but should be safe here. Early on in this one, This and That does have the lead here. Score right now is 32,000 for Coverdale's, 115,000 for This and That. I want to say This and That's had maybe one burn here through 25 lines, which obviously don't have to go perfect by any means, but This and That certainly going aggressive here, knows what it'll take in order to defeat someone of Coverdale's caliber. And This and That certainly going to try and push Coverdale's to play his best 15 play at least. We'll see what happens on the later levels, and hopefully we do get to see those later levels in action on this game. Looks like we're well on our way there, though. Already 40 lines in now, 78,000 points for Coverdale's, 159,000 points for This and That. Coverdale's trying to build one off the bottom here. Has a few different dependencies, though. So Coverdale's not going to let those sideline him too much, just managing to work around them, maybe even work into them. Almost had the dirty Tetris set up there, but decided not to overcommit to anything here. Just gonna live to see a different piece sequence or a different level eventually. This and That, trying to keep an awkward board from forming here. Might decide to set up column 3. Nope, just gonna fill that in, go back to the right well here. Nice adjustment on the O piece though, for the incoming J piece that was arriving. And another Tetris from This and That, Tetris from Coverdale's as well, scores 192,000 for This and That, 128,000 for Coverdale's. Both players now around 60 lines through 15 speeds here. So we just continue to work through it here. Coverdale's board getting a little bit jagged here, but managing to smooth things out here. Keep anything from getting out of control, and of course setting up for the Tetris in the process, which Coverdale's will get here. This and That, really just keeping a nice, flat, well-rounded board here. So This and That truly in prime form right now, as we've seen throughout the set, really throughout the whole episode. $273,000 now for This and That, 209,000 for Coverdale's. So This and That will have the advantage as we quickly approach the transition. But also have to go through a little bit of a slowdown here, so Coverdale's will try to close the distance between himself and This and That. The less work he has to do on the later levels, the better off he may be. Looks like Coverdale's is prepared for anything and maybe everything. So here we go. This and That has time for one more Tetris here before transition. We'll see if the game gives it to them. Coverdale's one line away from transition. He's set up for the column 8 Tetris, and it's going to hold out for it. Game not wanting to give the Longbar seemingly, and finally there's the Longbar for Coverdale's, who transitions into level 16, as does This and That. Scores 311,000 for This and That, 262,000 for Coverdale's. So This and That's ahead by about 50,000 here. And now here we go. We'll once again ask ourselves the question of what these two can do on the later levels of Tetris. Both players keeping clean boards here. Both players keeping low boards here. So they are just working their way through the levels here. Getting ready to score as needed. Right now, Cardell's the one who needs to do more of the scoring here. Behind by roughly 2.5 Tetrises worth of points, plus whatever this and that throws onto the board. And there's another Tetris from this and that, now at 343,000. Coverdale's at 274,000. Both players about to enter level 19 now in a little bit. Tetris from Coverdale's, Tetris from this and that, and these two, neither player backing down here. They are prepared to take this game to, of course, the only fitting way perhaps to take on a decider, which is level 19 play. So here we go. This and that still ahead by about 90,000 points right now. Does hang a Longbar on the left side here. Can you get one over? It hangs that Longbar as well, and I think that's going to be it for this and that, who's going to top out here at 398,000, which means it's Coverdale's who will have the chase down here. We need 399,000 to win the game, Coverdale's. 399 will get you the decider. 399. Here we go. Could certainly line this one out here. Cardell's may also want to just try and get this over with and not stay on 19 speed for too long, so we'll see how he decides to go about this. I think he is taking the line out strats for the time being. Made a smart move here. This and that saying, how did I miss that first Longbar? I'm going to assume your DAS was not fully charged there, this and that, if I had to guess. But, you know, it's a tough one, you know, you assume... Right, not assume... You figure, oh, you know, 19, you just have to play low and you'll be alright. But, you know, sometimes it's not always the case. Sometimes it's very easy for boards to spiral out of control on 19 speeds, so... The pros certainly make it look easier than it is. It's not saying glad this isn't div play. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this would have... I mean, heck, if I was in your shoes, I'd be happy either way, because, you know, you'd know that you were getting at least 2 points here, and could still get 6 points here. All depends on how this chase down goes. Again, Coverdale's needs 399,000. Board starting to climb here. Longbar down the middle is going to help a good deal. Coverdale's needs about 20,000 more points here. Oh no, that J piece doesn't go all the way over. And it's just misdrop after misdrop, and I don't think Coverdale's going to be able to get out of this. And the answer is no, it's going to be a top out at 380,000 points, which means by just... Wow. Less than a Tetris worth of points separating these two, but this and that does come away with Game 5 and the decider. What a finish here. Such a kick, man. So that's how it plays out here. All right, well, what a performance by both players here. Really, gonna tip my hat at that one. These two had their ups and downs throughout the set, but really exemplifying that the silver play is as hellish as just about any other division you can run into. These two really gave it their best effort here, but at the end of the day, this and that coming away with the victory. And so that does it for this set here. It's not saying I'm up for another match, but not right now. Okay. Do we have anyone in chat here who would like to play in a set?
I'll first, you, Matt.
Okay, well, that'd work as well. I'd certainly be down to take someone. So yeah, I can make that happen.
But now we need a commentator.
The eternal struggle.
Let's get the newly minted this and that on comps.
I'd enjoy that.
So I'm gonna hang up the call and we'll be right back. Oop, that's not. Yet again, I was assuming that this can do it. Oh, you can VC. Okay, I'll call you again. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Well, GG's on the game. That was exciting.
That was exciting. GG's, man. You came so close.
I know you said before that you wish this wasn't a div match. Then you said you wanted to be a div match. Well, vice versa.
GG's, mate.
Yeah, GG's.
I'm fine either way. I've been trying to get our match scheduled, but if you don't want to play for the rest of the week, I completely understand. There's just times when you feel like your play is garbage and you don't want to play. I get it.
Yeah, it's just one of those weeks. Yeah, last week was nothing but div play, and I think I crapped out because of it. Here we go. Right. So let's bring these numbers back down to 0. And I will give you the show for now.
Alrighty. Good to see.
Good luck to everyone.
Yep. Good luck to you both.
Oh, good. Yeah, how does that work? Is it the things on the
I need just a moment to sort some things out, and then I can give my full attention to the TNP show. A great honor, to be sure. All right, what have we got here? Coverdale's and Mathwas. Coverdale selecting level 15. Mathwas deferring on the level select. Always a nice guy, that Mathwas. We shall see how these two will match up against each other. Coverdale is just having played a set with me, which he tragically could not make the chase down on. And Mathwas, I believe... Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Omenvar. And my dad just came home from teaching. Mathwas rolling up a seed, 8FCX... Bleh. Let's start from the top. 8F61C2. A good seed if I've ever heard of one. Although the pieces may not bear that out eventually. Mathwas, I'd forgotten, but now I remember. Mathwas has custom colors for his pieces. When he started doing that, he actually had all of the pieces be the same color, but I kind of made him change it to where there's at least 3 colors, so that's cool. Boom, dinner for this? Real. Yeah. Yep. If both players are ready... They're not ready yet. They're just putting in the seeds. This is a matchup we would not see in the TNP unless either Coverdale's got promoted again or Mathwas got demoted or relegated. Good luck to both players, and we start in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Square S for Coverdale's and square S for Mathwas. So we have the same piece sets confirmed. Always a good thing. Sometimes you don't end up with same piece sets, and personally that sometimes throws me off if I'm in a groove when I'm playing. Mathwas has to create a hole in the board, but both holes are in the same row, so he might be able to get at that easily, and he does. Ends up stacking high on the right side. Has a Longbar dependency, but gets the Longbar, so now he's perfectly clean and stacking for a Tetris. Waiting for another Longbar and gets it. Very nice. Mathwas up to almost 40,000, and Coverdale's at 40,000. So both players neck and neck, as they say. I, for one, have a very long neck. Bet you always wanted to know that, huh? Anyway, Mathwas just topped out at the news of me having a giraffe neck. Sorry that freaked you out so much. You have no clue what that was? I think I know what it was. Anyway, Coverdale's, you were good to top out anytime. You have taken the first game. Warm-ups are done? Yep. Mathwas has been commentating all night, so he probably hasn't had that much time to practice. So whenever I come into a game cold, sometimes I'll either try to start on the lower level if I'm the person with the higher PB, or I just lose the first game. Coverdale saying Mathwas has the selection. That's not a selection, Mathwas. That's an emote. 15 is good. All right. I think Mathwas' shirt is perfect descriptor for this first game. Just a big fat nope. Anyway, Mathwas is ready. Coverdale's readying up as I speak. Coverdale's, you should give yourself a 1 out of 3. Okay, never mind. That's fine too. I'll just have to keep track in my head. And in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Good luck once again to both players. Coverdale's up by 1. This game number 2. Can MathWiz even it up at 1 each? Or will Coverdale's take a commanding 2-0 lead? Although I swear in lower division play in Tetris, no 2-0 lead is safe. Reverse sweeps are very, very common. In fact, it's possible that they're the most common outcome. If we've got any number crunchers in the audience, I'd be interested to know if that's true. Coverdale's having a high left to start, but has column 1 higher than column 2, which is something you always want to look for when you're first starting to stack. Coverdale's going for the dirty Tetris. It's not getting the right pieces for the right side or the left. That's a triple. Sadly for Coverdale's, that was only a triple, so we'll not give him the points of the Tetris, which would come out to about 20,000, I believe, on level 15. Has to dig out. No, is not digging out. Goes from a row 2 to a row 3 Tetris and gets it up to 48,000. MathWiz now at 60,000. MathWiz, I'm seeing, is playing slightly more conservatively than he usually does, which, well, I respect that highly. If you're playing conservatively, that means you're much less likely to top out. And MathWiz, of course, has not been practicing so much. I don't believe he is in a division right now. But we all look forward to seeing MathWiz in division play once again. I always love to see him play. At least on 18, because on 19 he goes and starts tapping instead of dassing. But that's all right. I personally enjoy seeing dash more than most other play styles, but other people may think differently. And I think MathWiz's rolling is good as well. Anyway, MathWiz up to 123, now 142 with that Tetris. Coverdale's now at 95 with a bit of a checkerboard down at the bottom of the board. Chooses not to burn away the checkerboard and goes for the Tetris. Tetris ready at row 3, waiting for a Longbar, burning. Gets the Longbar. Is he going to burn? No. Coverdale's going aggressive. Never mind. Actually chooses to burn away one of the lines. Is now working from a column 2 and burns all the way down. Coverdale's at 123,000 and MathWiz just over 200,000. So MathWiz with a fairly considerable lead, even though he is pushing down. MathWiz at 222, about halfway to the level 16 transition, bringing with it 18 speeds. Coverdale is at 181, so about 3 Tetrises behind, if my math is right. I'm sure if MathWiz were on comms, he would tell me right away, but he is not, so you've got my flawed math. MathWiz with an L and a J, and gets a Longbar and an L to cover it up. And now is sloping nicely, setting up for the Tetris. Coverdale's at 201, MathWiz at 264, MathWiz about 13 lines ahead. So I am not sure who has the pace lead at the moment, but MathWiz ahead in real time by about 60,000 points. Only time will tell if Coverdale's can catch back up. But one thing is for certain, MathWiz has fewer lines ahead of him than Coverdale's does. Coverdale's with a row 4 Tetris. Some janky movement on that J piece, but ends up burning that away and can skim it away. Very nice. Coverdale's almost Tetris ready. Now Tetris ready, waiting for the Longbar. Gets the Longbar up to 263. MathWiz now at 324. MathWiz only 11 lines away from the level 18 transition. Now 7 lines away. What can he do? MathWiz on very good pace, I think. From a level 15 start, anything over about a 300k is very good pace, in my opinion, at least in my experience from what I've seen and how I've played. So if MathWiz can get down from here, MathWiz come down. All right, Mathwas makes the transition at about 350,000. Is now high but clean. Waiting for the Longbar. That L will work perfectly. Still waiting for pieces. Gets that J over. Gets a tug. High, still high but clean. Has to throw that square over. Another square. What can Mathwas do? Gets the Longbar, but now his board is very precarious. Gets another Longbar for another Tetris, now into level 17. Needs to get this board down before level 19 speeds. Coverdale's now at 291, now 311 into 16. Mathwas has some major work to do to get this board down. Gets the Longbar at the exact right time, but only has 9 lines left to get down to something safe for 19 speeds. Now has 4 lines left. Coverdale's still almost 100,000 points behind. Mathwas into level 19 at 417. Mathwas, I know, switches to tapping once he goes to level 19. Can his taps do it? Can he get that bar over to the left? And he cannot. Mathwas at 419,000. So Coverdale's, your target is now 419,000. Well, 420,000. Insert joke here. Coverdale's gets a Longbar, now into level 18 at 366, now at 388, is only about 30,000 points away, so with 2 Tetrises, can do it. Now only 1 Tetris remaining, so he will require 19 play to be able to overtake Mathwas. Can he do it? He exhibited some very nice 19 play against me. Waiting for the Longbar. Is he going to take the burn? Takes the burn. Into 19 at 394. That's not a Tetris. That's only a triple. Has 14,000 remaining. Is he going to line it out? Is he going to stack for the Tetris? The stacking for the Tetris does not use the Longbar for that triple. Will it bite him in the end? Gets that T-piece all the way over. This is some rolling you've ever seen before, folks. And gets the... I think it was the burn to beat Mathwas. A very nice game from both players right there. Congratulations to Coverdale's. Now is working the row 4 Tetris well. Rolling is really something else. Hello, MS Alley Universe. GG's to both players, but especially to Coverdale's. That was some very nice 19 play. And a good chase down. Mathwas got to that message before I could, or else I would have done exactly the same thing. Thank you, Mathwas, for your service.
Thank you for nuking that.
Anyway, I believe it is Coverdale's level select, assuming we're playing by TNP rules.
Who won that game?
You did. So
Oh.
I guess if you're doing loser picks, then it would be Mathwas' selection.
I'm just going to treat this as a regular game, so I'll just stick with I'll stick with 15.
15 start it is. I believe the seed is now A1. A1, of course, being the name of a popular steak sauce in some places in the United States, at least. Both players are ready, so I will now count them down. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It makes me very happy to be able to do exclamation 3. Only just yesterday I successfully got the classic Tetris bot working in my stream. I have just begun my own restreaming journey, unlike both these players who have been stalwarts. Same piece sets confirmed, and we remain with that difference in not stacking philosophy, but Mathwas choosing to push down and Coverdale's choosing not to. Mathwas in some fairly early trouble right here. Never mind. He gets a nice T-burn and a long bar, and he gets a second long bar for his first Tetris up to 22,000. Coverdale's at 21,000. Gets his second Tetris up to 40,000. I'm not sure that spin was possible, but Coverdale's went for it anyway. Coverdale is working with a left well at the moment, but will not get a Tetris because of things on the right side. Now has a long bar dependency on the right. This being 15 speeds, it's easier than 18, but still can be very dangerous. Gets a long bar, but now has two different long bar pulls. Fills one with a T and another with a J. These pieces are not agreeing with Coverdale's at all. Gets a long bar, but it's not really at the right time. Another one, still not at the right time, is trying to uncover that right side. Nice adjustment with that T to be able to use that square right there. Is waiting for a long bar, gets the long bar at just the wrong time once again. These pieces hating on Coverdale's right now. Can anything get over to that left side? It seems not. MathWiz, you are in about a 5,000 point chase down. Your goal is 52,000. MathWiz about halfway up the board, but clean. Waiting for the long bar. The long bar will give him the game, and GG's. MathWiz begins the reverse sweep. We've all seen this one 1,000 times before, fellas. If I had any money, I'd be putting it all on MathWiz bringing it to a decider. You can top out anytime you like, MathWiz. Oh, could not get the long bar over. MathWiz doesn't care. He's got the game already. Miss Ollie Universe saying, I love Tetris, but I could never do it competitively. Yeah. The reason that I joined and started doing Tetris competitively is because I thought it would make me better at just playing Tetris in general. So if you think that might help you there, then I would suggest it. If you don't like doing it, that's fine. Completely fine. The main thing is that you enjoy it. Oh. Coverdale is asking MathWiz what level? '18 is selected. The classic speed chosen by all top level Tetris events. 18 speeds, the seed is now B2. Coverdale's whenever you're ready. And we are now at a game 4. Can Coverdale's close it out in 4, or will MathWiz bring it to another decider? And 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Sorry, I lagged a little bit. Not unlike Miss Ollie Universe when she tries to play Tetris, apparently. Or he, I don't know. "18 speeds, and we have the same pieces. Although with the colors change, it's slightly more difficult to see that. But I won't begrudge MathWiz the change in the pieces. I don't think I would ever be able to do that. I mean, seeing the color of the pieces often helps with me doing it. And I think at the higher levels, changing the color of the pieces is not allowed. Anyway, MathWiz at 45,000, Coverdale's at 8,000, waiting for his first Tetris, has a J hang right there. Don't worry, I'm a miss. Well, that's good to hear. MathWiz high but clean. Coverdale's with a little bit of digging to do. That square was not what he was looking for. Another square. A T-piece will fill that in nicely, but now needs Needs a long bar, but ends up filling it in flat with a J. Now needs another long bar. His pieces really aren't what he needs right now. And Mathwiz has just topped out at 77,000. Coverdales, you are 30. Your goal is 78,000. I was not looking at what was happening on Mathwiz's board, but unfortunately he seems to have topped out. It looks like he might have misdropped a Z piece and then a J piece quickly. But oh no, Coverdale is getting up too with a series of misdrops of his own. Can he get down? Rolling is an advantage, but it comes with its own set of problems. Gets the long bar all the way over, not a guarantee on 18. Needs a long bar, gets the long bar. Gets a split double. Can he get anything over those squares? Oh no. Hangs a Z piece. Coverdale, you're 16,000 points away. Can you get down? Can you get over that long bar? Cannot get over that long bar. And against the odds, having topped out himself at 77,000, Mathwiz beats Coverdale's in game number 4, bringing us to yet another decider. Thank you, Coverdales, for following the script. I know it was tough when you were that close, but hey. He made it look good, folks. That's what we were looking for. The seed is now C3. Coverdale's and Mathwiz at 2-2. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 1. Winner take all, game 5. Who will take the game and the set and all the bragging rights until next week? We shall see, coming up in about 1 or 2 minutes.
Are we sticking with 18?
Well, Mathwiz just asked you.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I really don't.
It's all up to you, my friend.
I feel like let's make this interesting. Let's start with 15, or let's do 15.
A 15 start has been selected. Mathwiz seems very happy with this whole proposition. Miss Ali Universe, cheering on both of our competitors here. Both players are ready, so now I will do the countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Good luck to both players. I hope to see a game for the ages. Or at least in 100K from both players. L Longbar S. Mathwiz starts, has an L, a Longbar, and an S. Same piece sets. Coverdale is going double weld to start, ends up filling it in with an early J. Respect it. Now Tetris ready. Waiting for his first Tetris. Gets his Tetris. 19,000. So I was wrong. Tetrises are worth a little less than 20,000 at this level. Mathwiz already in certainly a situation here. Is double Longbar dependent. Can he get that piece of... And Mathwiz was a single line away from a club 0 and a few pushdown points. Mathwiz just rolled over in his chair and died. Rest in peace, Mathwiz. We hold your funeral on Saturday. He's gone. He's just gone. Rest in peace. GG's to Coverdales. You have won this game. Oh man. I have been there, Math Whiz.
What happened?
What happened? I was paying attention to your board mostly, but from what I could see, Math Whiz had to cover the right side and didn't get the right pieces to burn down correctly.
Oh, I
And
feel
then he
that.
filled
I
out the
feel that.
left center and couldn't get pieces over. A very unfortunate game for Math Whiz. Oh, he's alive!
Barely.
At least he's alive. Even if his Tetris game isn't sometimes. Don't worry, we've all been there.
Oh, I'm 100%. 110%.
Although I myself have never club zeroed in competition.
I did.
I know players who have, including the one across from me in this VC. Well, that's anticlimactic indeed, but it was funny. Well, thanks for having me on, Mr. Coverdales.
No problem. You did great.
Thanks.
I can't wait to see your next stream. I wasn't able to get your first one, but I'll definitely catch the next.
I might end up streaming some of the CTB streams later this week.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully I can, if I can reach that or catch that. Miss Alley Universe, yeah, it's.
Well,
It
thanks
happens.
again for having me, and have a good night. Goodbye to all
problem.
of you on the TNP show who are listening along.
Let's get Matt back on VC here. Hello. Welcome back. Unfortunate ending, but it was a good game either way.
Yeah, I had fun with that. I don't know what I did with that opening board there. I just set up way too many Longbar dependencies. I think my brain has been too much during my off play. I've tried to do a little bit of perfection chasing, and so I was trying to go way too aggressive there and not take any burns early, and I got burnt instead.
Let's see, yeah, the game is quite ruthless that way. Quite ruthless.
Yeah, that it is.
Is there any more matches after this?
That is a good question. There was not anything scheduled for this exact moment. Hi, Allie. Yes, I'm on commentary now. Commentary. Unless anyone else wanted to play tonight, that'd be it for this TNP episode. I'd be glad to join you back on the comms again tomorrow if you'll have me, though.
Yes, of course. Yeah, this the show starting at 1700. We don't have many signups at the moment. I'm pretty sure we'll fill up once. Yeah, once tomorrow comes about and all that. I mean, if I can talk, if we have just the matches scheduled as such, we're going to have an hour and a half gap between the first match and the second. So, yeah, that's a little bit concerning.
I'll have to see if I can get anyone available tomorrow. Push around the gold chat, see if I can wake up anyone from hibernation. Hasn't been as many gold players with so many of them going to CTL over the past month, but I'll see if I can find anyone else for tomorrow. I wouldn't be against playing another set tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh my goodness.
If you couldn't tell, Dale, I follow Wizard around like a shadow. Oh.
I'm involved in many Discord communities.
Oh, okay. Which Discord are you from, Miss Universe?
It's Discord for an old Flash game. I don't know how much you ever played with the online computer Flash games growing up, but it's a community around one of those that I helped out with some of the level creation with about 10 years ago now. So.
Okay. What's in Flash games? Sounds
Yeah, like the type of you know how it had like websites with all the browser game collections. Yeah, that sort of has an idea. Like Bloons Tower Defense was one such. Just out there, there's hundreds, if not thousands of them, but it was stuff like Cool Math or Armor Games or Congregate, stuff like that. So all the you could play free games on going up.
Yeah, a lot of fun playing these games. Remember.
Right, this and that, and is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a good chance you probably know the game. Then this and that's an old game called Run, or Run 3 specifically. It's like a platformer game where you had a alien going through a tunnel. It was a cool game.
Cool Math is Cool Math is one of the name of the
website. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't make the game. I helped with some of the level third edition of the game back in 2014 or 2015. Yeah, I can send you a link to it, this and that. Yeah,
Was I not cool enough to know of these games?
It's possibly I just missed out on. I feel like the peak.
Okay. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. Yeah, I guess the peak for them was roughly like 2010 to 2015 thereabouts. Because by the end of 2020, the Adobe Flash Player got discontinued basically across the internet. So nowadays it's near impossible to play a lot of those games.
I do recognize this website. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I have, yes. But the games, though.
I'm sure the games are probably a lot different than what they were back then. They are nowadays. I'll have to send you a video clip of gameplay. Yeah, it's cool to be. It's cool to always find yourself, I guess, in the communities. Also, another.
So this Discord server, are you competing with other people in these Flash games, or you're just talking about how to
We do a little of both. We've had competitions to try and get certain high score, try and get fastest time for completing a portion of the game, but we also talk, I guess, about the design of the game itself. So, yeah, a little of everything. A lot of time we just chat nowadays, since the creator of the game hasn't put out an update to it in 6 years now. But it's cool. It's all the little... yeah. Discord communities are a fun thing. There's also another thing I do usually before the TNP show on Tuesdays in a sports community where I talk about my thoughts on the NFL games, because I've told you before I'm a big football person, have been for 15 years now. But luckily I managed to go through most of the stream without mentioning the sports thing until now. So
close to being the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was a one touch. a lot of things that I think we could have done better, and now I don't know what's going to happen at all, because apparently Russell Wilson might finally get a chance to start this upcoming Sunday. Or, yeah, this upcoming... Yeah, whoever we're playing next, I can't remember off the top of my head. But... So... Things could certainly be interesting for this.
Discord community for the sports commentary? Or sports commentary, yeah. Is there a Discord for that?
Well, we could call it. I mean, just talking about sports in general, yes. But I think there's a million Discord servers out there, but I guess I'm just mentioning a few of the other ones I'm active in besides the TNP or besides the Tetris-related servers. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, in the particular sports server I was mentioning, yeah, I'll usually do like a VC within there like once a week where I talk about all the different football games that happen, my predictions for the upcoming games, etc. I like sports. I like Tetris, I like talking weather. I'm a man of many interests.
Can you send me a link? I want to check this sports Discord out.
Oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. And this and that, I can send you a link to the Flash game Discord that I was talking about. Yeah. I can pull both of those. And yes, this and that. Giants had a good game against the Seahawks. I wasn't expecting the Seahawks to play the way that they did. We've very much strayed away from the Tetris part of this stream, but it's fine.
Have you done any like live commentary of the games? Have you done that before?
No, I can't say I have. Usually, when I end up watching the games, it's usually been either alongside my dad or during college alongside sports friends. So, there's never for like an audience per se, but there's plenty of people who already do that across media world or streaming world. But I'm never against talking about sports. I'm always up for conversing about that.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I mentioned those things because both in the sports server I mentioned in the Flash game server I'm a staff member, so I'm certainly involved in those two areas as much as I am the Tetris one.
Miss Universe is saying that be warned, the server is a different planet. What does she mean, or he mean by that? No, she.
Oh, he's talking about the Flash game server. Well, she's making a joke there, since the Flash game in particular that the server is for is a space game, so literally a different planet in that sense.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I remembered Wiz never finished our VS from years ago.
Oh, right. Our match. 2020 was a different time, Alex. It's a different time for everyone, I suppose. Gosh darn. I wish I had been more involved with Tetris back in 2020. I think I was in any Tetris servers at that time. I just followed along as the CTM and CTWC tournaments happened. I still remember sitting on my couch watching the 2020 CTWC, amazed by the fact that it was Dog versus Pixelandy in the finals. Dog finally getting his moment of triumph after all of the shortcomings he'd had in the monthly tournaments. And here we are 4 years later, where Dog's now the world record holder. Oh my god, that was wild to hear in its own news. Someone had pinged me about that. He's like, yo, Dog got rebirth. I'm like, what do you mean he got rebirth?
one of the craziest achievements in gaming history. I would have to argue, like 255 levels of lines. That's over 2,000. That's over 2,000 lines, and that's I can barely do 100 or 230. Like and he did that plus because after he achieved rebirth, he went even further. I think he went to like level 30 something, then he topped out. So that's probably another 2,500, 27. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, I don't remember where exactly I ended up with that. As it is truly something special. Just far of that game, how far the game could be taken. Again, another cease to be amazed by the complexities of what is at its core such a simple game, and yet has so many little intricacies that you just learn about and indulge in as you become more and more, as you dive further and further into the rabbit hole that is Tetris.
I didn't expect to get this far with, going competitive, following. I just looked at a YouTube video one day that was, I think it was a CTWC video, and I'm thinking to myself, I can probably do this. How hard could this be? Like, it's kind of crazy, like how, and that was a little over a year ago. Just all of the just everything that's happened in between is just crazy.
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to take advantage of it this year because of scheduling, but next year I absolutely want to go to another one of the IRL tournaments. I haven't been to one since 2022, and I think, up in Connecticut, but I'm certainly within range to go to the Philly one, so I'd love to do that again next year, because I know you got to go to that one.
If we can do, I'm definitely going to the Philly one if it happens again, but I understand there might be some complications. It might be too close to the actual world championships, so they might have to choose one or other, and obviously they're going to choose the world championships over a regional. But yeah, if I can, it would be awesome to see you in person, meet up, and be like, yo.
That would absolutely be fun.
And that was actually when I was at the Philly one past year, I met a lot of cool people. I met Cole, I met Gerald, I met Zempro, I met what's his name? His name escapes me, but just everyone was so cool, even though I was so nervous. My social anxiety was like off the charts. But I had a lot of fun. Really did. And hopefully see you next time.
Absolutely. We'll figure something out down the line, but at the very least, I will always be here on the Tuesdays.
This is true. Yes. It doesn't look like anyone else is. Looks like there's no more matches happening at the moment. Yeah, there's no queue left.
Yeah. If you're talking about the football player 8 Mansion, yes, I know who Josh Johnson is. Yeah, this and that. I'll send you to that server link, and it's same for you, Coverdale. I'll send you that one as well. Check, yeah, there you go. The sports one is a bit of a large place, but I'll be able to find easily enough within it. And then
Discord, isn't that a new thing? And
no, it's not the one you're thinking of. No, this is a different thing. This was around before. It's not the one the NFL put out. That one is a complete mess.
Have you joined it? What have you seen anything? Or have you heard anything?
I heard about it from other people who joined. Yeah, no. This one's much much more reasonable, much less unruly people. I mean, any community you always run into good and bad wherever you go, but bad usually gets dealt with quickly enough. Then there's that link you were asking for, this and that. So
Josh Johnson's apparently a comedian.
a comedian.
From The Daily Show? I don't know anyone who's named Josh Johnson. What's that Johnson? Josh Johnson. Oh, I do recognize him. I haven't seen his comedy outside of the show, so I really don't know what he's capable of.
Fair enough.
What lagged out bad? The stream?
Could be internet, I suppose, but I'll take your word for it. It mentioned, yeah, it's. I don't watch a whole lot of comedy when it pops up or when someone shows it to me, I suppose.
That's not good. The Wheel of Doom is not set up for next week.
Thing to have.
Because Lovis is versing Dan, so we need to get that set up, and I don't have. Oh god. Okay, I got things I gotta do tomorrow morning, and I don't want to. I want to sleep. I'm probably going to just shut off the stream. There's no one else who wants to play, but nonetheless, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Matt, for commentating. It's been a blast.
I'll look forward to tomorrow.
10/24. If you find Alex T, you know what the reward is.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to see if I can raid anyone.
I think there might have been a couple channels active.
Das Tetris.
Ah, they are almost always going.
Oh, it's going to be... Oh, Andy's playing. Versus someone. Can't tell who that is. Is that Alex T? We found him. Yeah, Alex T, we found him. Yeah, let's send it to Das Tetris.
Yeah, that seems fitting.
Did it work? All right. See you guys.
See you.